What's going on, YouTube? We are back with how to do a one-shot swap part 4. This video has been asked for so many times, and I've been trying to perfect my craft with it because between me doing the work and trying to get it done quickly while filming is kind of hard, but I still try to make time to get it in. So anyway, today what I'm gonna show y'all how to do is I'm gonna show y'all how we gonna get this real Cradle up in the order that you want to put everything back in. So we're gonna show you how to get these gas and brake lines on, this front fuse box harness, and then the fuel tank and the rear Cradle in the back. Shouldn't be a long video because I have already done the work, but I'm going to go over everything. I'm going to show y'all exactly how I did it, what size bolts it is, how tight they typically should be, and how I got it up there by myself. So let's get right into that. All right, so first thing first, you want to put this on, which is going to be your ABS and brake line. You got 3 things right here. So you got 1, 2, and you got the third one right in there. You just pop this right on down, and you want to run this all the way to the back. Now it looked like it's gonna be complicated, but I'm gonna show you right up on the bottom that once you come up under here, it got little things that pop into. So right here, it's like a little thing. You just push it up in there and you run it all the way back. And once you get to the back, you don't want to have your fuel tank in when you do this. So make sure the fuel tank is not in when you do this. You're going to have a hose, or a line, I should say, right here. I used to leave this on and just have it dangling up top inside the car. And then I put the fuel tank up, then I run into issues because I run into issues as this crushing that while I'm pushing it up. So what I started doing was I would take this off, I would attach it to the fuel tank. So when I push the fuel tank up, it'll sit perfectly in the right spot and it'll still leave this right here. So when I come to put this on, I just plug it right up instead of fighting it. After you do that, you want to come to the back and you want your brake lines. You want to go ahead and clip them up and put your 10mm bolt in right here. That doesn't have to be extremely tight. It's only holding the brake line on. Same thing for the other side. And you're going to have another line that goes across the frame right in there. See if we can zoom in. You really can't see it, but it's the line go all the way across, and it got 2 little yellow tabs. You just pop into the tabs and they hold it up onto the frame. And you go over to the other side. You see, you got the same 10mm bolt. You put that on. After you get that on, the brake lines and stuff, that's when you are ready to go up with your fuel tank. Go up with the fuel tank before you go up with the rear Cradle. You're going to run into troubles if you put this rear Cradle on and try to put that fuel tank in. Trust me, I've done it, I know. Put your fuel tank in. After your fuel tank, then comes your rear Cradle. So your fuel tank is pretty much easy. You just have 2 bands. So you got a band right here, and you got a band right over there that's similar to this one. They are directional, so you will have to play around with them to figure out exactly which way it goes. And this car does have a lot of rust up on it, as y'all can see, but customer wanted it and he paid for it, so we just gonna make it work. We have already tried to weld it some spots in the floor up there that was damaged. I'm not really good at welding, but it is what it is. So you got a 13mm bolt right there. You got a 13mm bolt right up there, and it's the same thing over there. Just 2 13mm bolts that hold up this fuel tank with the bands on each side. So after you get that up, you come over here to your rear Cradle. And the way that I get this rear Cradle up, I just put the jack right onto the center of the diff. Now it's going to do a little, left and right sway and da. If you by yourself, just be careful. Just go up slowly. Or in some cases, what I do is I try to hurry up and get it up, because once these shirts get in between this, it don't rotate back and forth no more. You just go up. But you will have to fight with kicking that jack down at the bottom to go left and right to align everything. And once you get that done, you just put your short bolts in right up top. So you'll have 2 16mm bolts right here. And then you'll have 4 18mm bolts, 1 on each corner of the Cradle. And if you do have somebody help you, as you jacking up right here, you can just have them hold one side or both sides and make sure this thing don't go anywhere. Once you get that on, you want to hook up your brake lines. So as y'all seen, the way that I do the brake lines is I just take this bolt out. I know a couple people that would take that 13mm nut off in the back, which is extremely hard to get to take it off and put it back on. So I just take it off from right here. So once you get this rear Cradle up, you just run this down through here, up under there, and connect it right back, and make sure you use the little things so your brake line don't leak. It should be like a little copper ring or something. Once you get all that in, you should have your battle harness already run, as I showed y'all in the previous video on how to run the battle harness. So you should have this wire coming through. Once you get all that in, you want to get this fuel filler neck to go in. You just shove it down through there. You see the way it's routed. And you want to put that into the fuel tank in the back. And make sure you tighten this clamp up, because it is very important that you tighten it up. Unless you want to leak fuel everywhere, I would tighten it up. And we got everything pretty much hooked up over here. Last thing we got to do is we got to find the correct one of these that plug into here and also plug into that one. So that's the last thing we're working with over here. And if you did everything correctly, yours should come out looking similar to how this one look. And this is the front cradle. A lot of people ask me about how does a front cradle look, what all I need. This is everything you need. When I say front cradle, this is what I mean. So I'm going to show you guys how the dash is ran now. So once you get those brake lines ran, you want to sit this right here. You're going to have two 10mm bolts right up under here. You can't see them, but there is two 10mm bolts right up under there. And this is a bracket, and then this just sit on top of it. So put them two 10mm bolts in, you'll have another 10mm bolt right down there. And you just sit this on top. You run everything this way. You have two grounds right here, which is going to be a 10 and a 10. And you're going to have another ground right back here, which is very much important. That's going to go from this front cradle. And all this stuff right here just plugs into the front of the car. So just sit it aside for now. Sit everything aside, and it runs around the back. When it go around the back, you'll have a big old boot, the biggest boot that you will see on this thing. Just shove it through this hole right here and pop it into place, because all that stuff controls the inside. Then you want to run this around. They have a little circle, little aluminum thing, I want to say, that hold this up. But I don't typically use that again, because they are deemed useless after the first use. So what I would typically do is I would just use that same 10mm bolt that we use to take off that heater core and HVAC box to hold this back up. So it's holding the HVAC box and it's holding this harness in. So as you can see, this thing is not going anywhere. And that's another one right up under there, because it's two of them. You want to come around this side. You have a thingy right here that you just pop in. Run this around here. You'll have one harness that run this way. You'll have one harness that run that way. The harness that go this way, it plugs into your brake thing right here, your brake reservoir. And that sensor right there, I think, is what tells you when your brake fluid is low. So that's important. If you don't plug that up, you will have a brake light on. This right here is for the brake pressure, I think, because I've actually driven one of my cars before and I did not hook this up. It almost got catastrophic. So make sure you plug this up, which is going to be located right here on the back of the motor. It's going from the back of the intake. So with this harness right here, you want to run it this way. Nothing plugs up right into here. So this harness right here is actually damaged. I'm still repairing it a little bit. This is going to go to your airbag. So if this thing right here crushed, break, bust, whatever, this is what causes your airbag to deploy. I don't know exactly what this go to, but we figure it out once we get to it. And this is for the headlight. This is actually a Chrysler headlight harness. So this is a Charger harness, but I've already converted over to a Chrysler. So as you can see, it's already been wired in, and it's just really plug and play at this point. You got a ground right here, and you have this right here that goes to your side marker lamp. And we got to figure out what this go to, but I'm pretty sure it go to the ABS or something similar. Now, when you come back around here, you have a plug right here that will go to your AC liquid line, which is going to be right here, which is going to be I want to say a 13mm. You just put it on there. It's going to be a 13mm, and this will plug up into it. This right here goes to your wiper motor. So when you put your wiper motor back on, your wiper motor assembly, this will plug into that. And then these two plugs that go through this hole goes to the e-brake, and it's like a green wire or something. I don't know exactly what to do, but I know if you unplug it, the car won't start. And that's pretty much going to be it for this video. There's not much left to do as far as putting that in, unless you guys want to check out the interior. So with the interior, I showed you guys how to do the body harness already. Once you put that body harness in, last thing left is to really to just throw your carpet back in, throw your plastic pieces back in, and you pretty much set to go. Put your seats back in, and then once you run that dash harness, what you want to do is go ahead and install that dashboard afterwards. But try to do everything you can before putting that dashboard in, as far as, let's see. Try to install everything you can as far as your brake pedal, your gas pedal, your airbag module, which is going to be that yellow box down there. Try to install all of that stuff prior to putting your dashboard in. It will make life 10 times easier, including your BCM right over there. Because if you put this dashboard in before putting all that stuff in, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be impossible, but it's going to be harder to get all that stuff in there. So I would just recommend, before you to put this dashboard in, do that stuff first. But anywho, man, that's just a run through of part 4, how to do a one-shot swap. Sorry that it feels like a rushed video, but I'm trying to give you guys details on everything you need to know on how to complete your own swap. So a lot of people message me and want to know how much I charge to do these swaps. I charge $5,000 to do a swap, and that is labor only. Because as you can see, there's a lot of work that comes into doing these swaps. We are taking these cars all the way 100% apart, down to the bare metal, and basically building your car again. So if that don't tell you nothing, I don't know what else to tell you. A lot of people also ask me what all parts you need to do a swap. And as you can see, man, we done took off so much stuff from this old car. So much stuff. It's crazy. But just for y'all, man, I'm going to drop a video to show y'all and tell y'all every single thing that you need for these swaps. And just believe it won't be a one video. It's going to be like 3 videos, because there's so many things that you need in order to complete a swap, especially when you're going back with like a 2005 to 2010 swap. 2011 or 12 and up, you need less stuff, but 2015 and up is really the best you can go. So anywho, that's all we got for now. I'll see y'all on the next video. Well, we're probably gonna do a part 5 on how to install this front cradle. So let's go ahead and get into that. So y'all take it easy, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back for part 5.
Go through a lot, I always overcome. Cause at the end of the day, I'ma still be me. I keep on telling on one day you gon' see me on TV. And I had got up out them streets, I couldn't let that conquer me. And when I die, you can believe I was on both.